Hey guys, and welcome to episode 39 of Football Manager 2015 with Aston Villa. It's the start of a new season, 16th August 2020, and a new episode here. Our first season going in, where we are in the European Champions Cup. The Champions League is finally here for us, and I can't wait to get started. Entering at the group stage, of course, after last year's heroic season, leaving us in third position. I've actually been taking a bit of a break the last few days from recording. That's the reason. Because I've been sick actually, so I've been taking a little bit of a stop. You might notice that because I've had a bit of a backlog of videos, so I've been able to get them out kind of once a day at least. But you might have noticed in the previous one or two episodes that I might feel a bit, my throat is kind of beginning to go. That was like before the cold. And in today's video you might hear it again, but it's at the end of the cold. But anyway, should be grand after this episode. Like, it really should ease out. Anyway, there's a fair bit to cover since last time out. If you didn't watch the last video, please do. I would recommend. So we might as well just pop into the transfers, of which there weren't many, but I'm still quite excited over what we did, because we didn't actually get that much money, which I was a little surprised about. We only got around 10 million to spend, which I was disappointed in, because finances weren't all too good. So on the outs, I suppose, looking for the main ones here in the free transfer, Andy Coric left. He's now at West Brom, our rivals. Is that in the Championship or the Premier League? It's in the Championship, so kind of sums it up for Coric. I don't think he's quite able for the Premiership, and he finds himself in the Championship now. Out of these guys, Joshua Webb, I suppose. Not bad, he went down on a free. Anyone else I can see? No, Jimmy Wilkes went down on loan to Barnet. Don't think he's going to make it anywhere. Just get that right. Striker, he's got decent pace, but that's around it. And then the two kind of actual transfers out, one of them being Alberto Brignoli for 2 million. He's been our backup keeper the past few years. He's been a very solid keeper, and I kind of respect his values for the club, because he didn't really complain too much, to be fair to the lad, about being backup, despite only playing a combination of 14 games in 3 seasons at the club, which I suspect is a bit depressing. But Cesena came in for 2 million. This is also, though, because we have managed to replace him with another backup keeper. And then the big one going, I suppose, was Nathan, 24 million to AC Milan. He's a good player, no doubt about that, but he just didn't find his way into the team, fully into the team. Like, first season he was crap, but last season he was much better, but he just didn't really get the run out he probably deserved. And I was kind of looking into it and thinking, well, actually, he's not going to get a run out again that he deserves. So I decided to offer him out. AC Milan came in, 24 million's worth, which actually I think was only some like 5 million up front, but the other 19 was over only 24 months, which I think is quite good, because it gives you those financial benefits for 2 years of a fairly hefty income coming from this transfer fee, which is good. 24 million, I think, in the long term is probably a fair bit for Nathan. A little too much in my eyes, but nonetheless, that was their decision. He was okay, but he just wasn't quite there. Anyway, 3 men in. 2 of them kind of development projects. One of them, Jesus Christ, absolute steal. Here's the backup keeper I was talking about. Alder Elino, 22 years old. He's Brazilian, under 20s international. He's 22 years old. He just looks an extremely solid keeper. We bought him in for 5.5 million from Gremio. I've actually been keeping tabs on him for a long time, and this was the first time I could get him for kind of under 8-9 million. So I really kind of snapped their hands off. Like, he's already gone up to 6.25 million since joining. He won't be in the matchday squad today because he's with the Brazil under-23s at the Olympics. So we're also missing Balanta because of that, because he's with the Colombian under-23s. He's improving very well though, which is nice already, considering he's only just joined the club. And like, he's not going to be first team, but he will probably start a few of those Capital One games. Possibly, like, on the rare occasion that we'd have an easy Champions League game or something, I don't know, or a easy Premier League game. I think he'll be a good backup, and he's probably in the long term going to be a much better keeper than Brignoli ever was going to be. Next man in was Paulinho for 4.3 million. He's a centre mid, can also play as attacking mid centre. Just again gives us a bit more depth. I'm still a little dubious about the reasoning behind bringing him in, because I wasn't really sure, did he add kind of too much depth? This is the problem really, because I'm looking to bring in a few guys like who haven't really been given fair enough shots into the team this season. Because I feel like somebody like Tom Cleverley, he's getting old now, actually. You don't really realise it, but he's 30, 31, I think, on game now. Like, it's a fair age, to be fair to the lad. But anyway, no, that's beside the point. This is Paulinho, 22 years old. Again, Brazilian, under 20 international, 4.3 million from Corinthians. He's already risen to 6.75 million. He looks a very good centre mid. He's got decent vision, determination good first touch, good stamina, good technique. So he's a real kind of Brazilian sort of style centre mid, very technically gifted. Decent enough mentals though and physicals for Brazilian standards. Sometimes you get these guys who are good technically and even good physically, but the mentals just are absolutely wank. But he seems to be good, and I think he'll be a decent enough rotation option. But then I did realise, like, even though those two guys were nice, both of them are probably rotation options at best. And I did realise I kind of had to get somebody who's going to make the step up with us to that Champions League mark and has the pedigree to do so. Go to see whether I could find another kind of Roberto Pereira lurking in the contract expires. And Jesus Christ, I think I found either some guy just as good, if not better, than Roberto Pereira. Could he be the best free transfer ever on Football Manager? Maybe so. Maximilian Meyer, who was released by Schalke. Of course, it's Gelson Kirchen on this game. I don't know why the hell he was released by Schalke. Maybe he just didn't sign a new deal. 24 years old. Look at that. What isn't there to say? Good dribbling, good first touch, good technique, good anticipation, good composure, good decisions, good determination, good off the ball, good flair, good vision, good agility. The guy is an absolute animal. One cap for Germany. I suppose you could say, like, he's on 99 grand a week, which I suppose is a bit of a stumbling block. Kind of takes away from our ethos. But considering you're not paying any transfer money for somebody of this calibre, the 99 grand doesn't actually seem so bad. It really compensates a little. Like, it's bound to compensate a little bit when you find somebody like this as a free agent. But, you know, you just can't turn this down. And even though we're fairly packed in these positions, if you don't know where he plays, it's kind of behind the striker or on the wings. Can also play up front if you really needed to. But he kind of slots in quite well. I'm just going to have to try and find room for him. At the moment, it's going to be grand because I've got to tell you about an injury to Roberto Pereira. But when he comes back, there may be competition for places. Anyway, that is all the transfers. If we have a look at a little bit of a squad overview for this year, and I'll talk you through Roberto Pereira's injury, if I can find him. Where is Roberto Pereira? There he is. He's out for another 5 to 8 weeks. 29 years old. He picked up an injury in the middle of pre-season. I think it might have been the first game of pre-season, either the first or the second. It was a damaged Achilles tendon. At the time, it was 3 months, of which he's already had 5 weeks, and there's around another 2 months to go, maybe just less. It's a real shame because he's such a good player. You guys know that, I know that. Like, from his time here, he's just been absolutely sensational. Last year he's gone back to his old tricks, 29 games, 15 goals, 12 assists. Superb. Other men, I suppose, Stephen Bradbury, still improving okay. I just don't really see it with him, though. You know, with the lack of technical and aerial ability on him, I just don't see whether he's really ever going to quite make the finished product. Manfred Guts are the same. I think he's just lacking one too many things. You know, he's a very solid player, but he's lacking speed. He's worked on it well, though, considering what he started off with. This year is going to be a big year for Emiliano Para, his first real year at the club. Of course, he joined in January last year for 5.25 million. It was quite solid for his 15 games, but this is going to be a new kettle of fish with Champions League games coming up. Only on 20 grand a week, though, which is good. Yuri Tielemans, I'm looking to use him a bit more. 5 to 10 days he's out, though, with a pulled hamstring. He didn't really get a fair crack of the whip last year. His career has kind of stagnated in this game, on this save, though. After he went to Chelsea on a free, it just never worked out for him. And then we bought him for 4 million. We gave him more games than Chelsea did, but just not enough really for him to really progress from the player he is now. And to be honest, that looks almost identical to what he does at the start of the game. So there hasn't been much development in him. Robbie Byrne, 19 years old, had a cracking season last year, which is just so funny. Like, it's so odd, though, because he's such a bang average player when you look at his attributes. Like, his technical stats, there are only 4 that have got 10 or above. His dribbling is 17, crossing 10, passing 10, and technique 10. Nothing else is even double figures. But yet last year he scored 13 goals and 12 assists, 5 player of the matches, and 7.54 average rating in 31 league games. So explain that to me. Could be a big year for Hichem Saibi, who's already kind of Barcelona came in for him over the summer, knocked on the door. I rejected it, you know, as per usual. But he wants us to get, I think it was into the first knockout round of the Champions League. It's going to be a very tough ask. Of course, for a new club to the Champions League to suddenly just get past the group stage is always going to be tough. But he's an absolutely insane player, and if we do get there, it will probably be because of him. As I was saying with Tom Cleverley, 31 years old, like, he's beginning to deteriorate, as you can see. Some of his attributes going down. 55 grand a week, like, he's been such a good servant to the club on this save. There's been a real kind of solid work, especially last 3 seasons. Last 3 seasons have probably been his best. Constantly over 7s in the average ratings. And then this year, of course, it's going to be another tussle between the 2 strikers. Lucas Boye, 24 years old, and Bonazzoli, 23 years old. Like, they both had extremely similar seasons last year. They're different players, but you get the same sort of results. Bonazzoli was 14 in 30 in the league, and Boye was a bit more, I think. Jesus, Boye was 14 in 30 as well. You cannot split them by one goal. Bonazzoli contract expires in 2022, so we'll probably look to extend that pretty soon. Same with people like Robbie Byrne, Gina Peruzzi possibly. If we have a look at the competitions, overall, what are we expected to do? We're expected to only get a respectable league position in the Premier League, which I find quite odd. Despite not past positions, our prediction is to come 6th. So they're expecting us to get Europa League football, and if we come 6th, I won't be too upset. I have to say. As you can see here, this was the players' team of the year last year. So Courtois in goal, back four Azpilicueta, Zico Munoz, Phil Jones, and Kaderabek plays for Liverpool. Don't know him. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Saibi, Hazard, Christian Eriksen, and Costa and Bernard up front. As you see that, I might as well go over the awards. Last year, Eden Hazard won Footballer of the Year. Golden Glove went to Thibaut Courtois, De Gea, and then Alex McCarthy. Goal of the season, Munir for Man U, Pereira in second for his shot, his 54 metres goal, and Andre Schürrle in third. Manager of the Year went to Jose Mourinho. Players Player of the Year went to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You saw the Team of the Year. Players Young Player of the Year went to Saibi. I was saying in the last episode, would he still qualify for the Players Young Player of the Year? He did, and he won it, which is great for him. And top goal scorer, Costa, Hazard, and then Sturridge. Anyway, I don't think there's anything more to go through. So we might as well go through the game. We're playing Nottingham Forest again in the first day of the season. Of course, a bit of a bogey team. If we have a look at our past meetings, we will see that it's fairly even. We've got a few wins lately, which is pleasing. But overall, there's been 10 encounters between us. 4 wins for ourselves, 3 draws, and 3 wins for them. We've ended up with 15 points, then with 12. Forgot to take you through pre-season. I actually took control in pre-season this year. First season in a while where I've actually took control of some of the matches. I took control of all of them actually, because I was just testing out a few things, given necessary guys games. We beat Bromby 2-0, Pereira and Robbie Byrne. We beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 9-0, Grealish with a hat-trick, Boye with a hat-trick, an own goal, and Robbie Byrne with a brace. 1-1 with Spartak Moscow, Andrew Robertson. Beat Port Vale 4-1, Andrew Robertson with a brace, Bonazzoli and Akore. Beat Fenerbahce 3-0, 2 for Boye and 1 for Akore. And I decided to try and get us up against Bayern, which I did so. We lost 2-0, but we actually played quite respectably, and it got a bumper friendly crowd at Villa Park. And when we do have Forest here in the first game of the season, so we're going to have to see how we go. The team is Horn in goal, back four Robertson, Para, Akore and Peruzzi. Or should it be Santon? We'll go for Santon actually instead of Peruzzi. Cleverly and Saibi, Grealish, Meyer, Byrne and Boye up front. So Meyer making his debut behind the striker. As I was saying, Balanta is off on international duty at the World Cup. Should be back even for the next game. Like both of those guys should be back possibly in a day or two time. Maximilian Meyer is going to get the number 23 shirt. We're going to the Brian Clough Stadium, so it's not the City Ground anymore. They've renamed it, or they've built a new stadium. So that's handy. Might as well just get into it. Try to encourage the boys as it is first game of the season. And our first season in the Champions League, so looking to start off well in the league so we can kind of go into the Champions League group stage with a kind of spring in our step. Of course, the draw for that is coming up, I think, on the 27th or 28th of August. So hopefully we don't get dealt too cruel a blow. I, I suspect that I will be a Group 4 seed, considering we haven't been in the Champions League for decades. We did win it in 82. Grealish, boy, good save by Gartside. We did win it in 82, but I doubt that takes really effect in the 2021 season. Is it 2020, 2021 season seedings? So we'll have to see. Hopefully we don't get too cruel a blow, because I'd love to get at least into the first knockout round, because it might give you a good tie. Like, I wouldn't mind then, if you draw Madrid or something, you get a really good tie, where you can get capacity crowd at Villa Park, you can get a big game away from home. It's Tom Cleverley there trying to march through despite aging. Like, he's been class for us, Cleverley. I just think this year we got to try. He might play in the bigger games, because for experience purposes. Boy, Grealish, good save. Is it still on for us now? We've missed a few clear-cut chances there. But anyway, as I was saying with Tom Cleverley, he might play in some of the more big games, actually, as an experienced head. But just looking to kind of ease him out of the team. I don't want to just completely drop him off the face of the earth, because that never works well, and they've scored. How have they done that? Jamie Patterson has scored for Nottingham Forest, completely against the run of play, completely undeserved as well. Really harsh to concede in such a manner, and at such a time just before half time. Luke's Boye's gotten injured as well, just to compound everything. Not a good first 45 minutes. Bonazzoli. Thought I didn't put him on the bench for a second. I was thinking, Jesus, that's not a good start at all, is it? But 2 minutes of additional time, and we're going to go in here 1-0 down, and I'm disappointed, but in some ways, if we can kind of repeat our performance, I'm hoping we won't miss another 3 clear-cut chances. Like, you do have to put these chances away if you want to win, if you want to win games, because we've had the better of the game, there's no doubt about that. But if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you will not win these games. And that's always going to be the case against Nottingham Forest, because they're a decent team, but they're not the best team. As Saiby goes on a mazy run, but puts it well wide. A really poor effort from him. Oh jeez, no, don't make it 2. Oh god, it's been scrambled away. Don't know how we've gotten away with that one. A real warning sign that it's not just one-way traffic, and we need to try and work something out here, because it's not working out today whatsoever. I'm really at a bit of a loss about what to do. We're going to push Saiby up and bring on Paulinho for his debut. Maxi Meyer really failing to impress on debut. Just like, it's going to take him a few games, I suspect, to adapt to the Premier League. Like, you see it in real life with a lot of people. They've struggled to just adapt just like that. Just going to make a team talk as well to push forward. And we've gone overload as well, if you didn't see. So we're really trying to strain for a goal. Will that mean we get caught out again? It may be so, it might mean that. But here's a Sambalonga. It's been a constant thorn in my side throughout this save. He's scored, I think they were saying before the game, he's scored against me 5 times in this save. But it looks like this game is just drifting away from our grasp. And it looks like we're starting our first Champions League season with a 1-0 defeat away against Nottingham Forest. And that's really one that isn't one to keep in the memory for too long. That's a shocking result. It's undeserved, I'll give him that. Like, Boye's out for 3 weeks, that's not great. Like, we didn't deserve to lose, but on the other hand, we did not take any of our chances. Like, we dominated the early goings, but didn't take any of our chances. So we find ourselves with a loss already. Anyway, next game, it won't be that, but it will be the second Champions League group game, which is around in that 2 months period. It's just before, it's right at the end of September, instead of doing Liverpool again in the league. And it's too short to just have done this. So I'll go on for the second Champions League game. Hopefully it will be a good game, maybe a bumper one against one of the big teams. Anyway, new season here. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, comment if you feel like it, and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I'll see you guys later.